Kathy Gabriel here, and it's time for another review. Let's talk about the upcoming spy comedy Argylle. First, I want to say I'm a huge fan of Matthew Vaughn. I really enjoyed his latest spy comedy. I will say it's not as great as Kingsman or Kick-Ass, but I still absolutely had a blast. Argylle is a fun spy action comedy. It's full of great action sequences, really like innovative, fun, exciting scenes, great performances that will have you fully invested in the characters, and there's loads of unexpected twists and turns. It's directed and produced by Matthew Vaughn and written by Jason Fuchs. The film features an ensemble cast that includes Henry Cavill, Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, Bryan Cranston, Catherine O'Hara, Dua Lipa, Ariana DeBose, John Cena, and Samuel L. Jackson. If you know Vaughn's style Mar films, you can expect silly, wild, outlandish, outrageous, and campy. Um, Bryce Dallas Howard stars as Ellie Conway. She's an introverted spy novelist who seldom leaves her home. She's kind of a cat mom. She's drawn into the real world of espionage when the plots of her books, featuring a fictional secret agent named Argylle, get a little too close to the activities of a sinister underground syndicate. When Aiden, an undercover spy, shows up to save her from being kidnapped or killed, Ellie and her beloved cat Alfie are plunged into a covert world where nothing and no one are what they seem, including the discovery that Agent Argylle, in fact, exists for real. So I'm going to get into some spoilers. The film opens with a stylish dance sequence from Agent Argylle, which is played by Henry Cavill. And the opening scene, it's kind of like a silly riff on Mission Impossible, James Bond-esque type films, a little bit of a parody. Cavill's just super cool looking with his overbearing square cut and his Agent Argylle disco dances with an alluring female fatale played by Dua Lipa. She's honestly in the film for like only 5 minutes, but it's kind of like a parody take. And it kind of explains like his silly haircut and how ridiculously cool his persona is. So Agent Argylle infiltrates a Greek set club where he encounters a blonde Lagrange, which is played by the stunning Dua Lipa. She's decked out in a glittering gold dress, and they engage in a sultry dance before she escapes under a hail of bullets fired by a group of baddies. So, with the help of his team, which is a tech guru, Ariana DeBose, and his sidekick, John Cena, they escape chasing Lagrange down a narrow street in a set piece which is completely ripped from James Bond. When he finally catches up with her, Argylle and Lagrange exchange some dialogue, and this kind of reveals that they work for the same people. John Cena's pretty funny. He's his typical, hilarious self, and the banter with him and Cavill's pretty great. We eventually find out though that they're creations of author Ellie Conway, Bryce Dallas Howard, who's presently writing the fifth novel in her best-selling Argylle series. So Argylle and his crew turn out to be a story being told by the reclusive spy novelist Ellie Conway, and she's the author of Argylle, which is a popular spy book. And she's currently at a book reading, and she basks in the glory of the well-received fourth installment, and she's currently stressing out about the current fifth novel, and she's wondering how she's going to end it. So too is a shadowy organization called the Division. So with her adorable cat, Alfie, Ellie boards a train to see her mother, played by Catherine O'Hara, and on board she meets Aiden Sam Rockwell. He's scruffy and messy, has a beard, and he's nothing like the dashing Argylle Henry Cavill. So he's more of a believable spy, someone who can easily blend into the background with his basic normal look. On the page, Argylle is seeking a master file exposing villainous agents around the globe. And meanwhile, the Vision honcho writer, played by Bryan Cranston, he would also like to know where it might be. So he sends his goons after Ellie and the good guy spy Aiden, which is Sam Rockwell, who saves her, sending them on a mission to keep Ellie and Alfie safe, plus revealing exactly who the real Argylle is. So Aiden is here to extract the nervous spy novelist. The assassins are sent by director Ritter, Bryan Cranston, the head of the undercover agency called the Division. As they believe, she knows the whereabouts of a special flash drive which is containing classified material. So why is she their target? Unbeknownst to Ellie, the details of her novels match several real missions that make one think that she might be undercover. So there's tons of twists, turns. It'll definitely keep viewers at the edge of their seat. There's so many times you're like, oh my God, I expected that. Wait, I didn't expect that. And then it changes completely. Reality and fiction increasingly blend for Ellie, often in the blink of an eye. And it echoes through the personalities in the film. In one instance, she'll see Henry Cavill, and then it'll repeat back to Sam Rockwell, and totally different scenes. Vaughn built a cast that drives home the duality of spies in dad mode attire versus like the agents decked out in their finest cocktail. So Cavill, Lupa, and John Cena, are all like larger than life personalities, and they make sense as characters in the fantastical spy scenes, which are outrageous, like I said. But meanwhile, Howard and Rockwell, they're perfect fit for normal people, and they're just thrown into these crazy shenanigans. She's like a cat mom, and Rockwell, he's just like a charming rogue, and he does it so well. Major stars like Samuel L. Jackson, and DeBose, Richard E. Grant, they're kind of casualties of a blank script offering them thankless roles. They don't really have much screen time, and they're kind of wasted. Sam plays a riff on Samuel Jackson, a riff of like Nick Fury, and he's in hiding. Catherine O'Hara does her burst version of Marlene Dietrich via witness for the prosecution. She's a bit wonky, not much as Myra from Schitt's Creek, as she shifts from like fake mom to English undercover espionage agent who hypnotizes the real Argylle. Cranston also adds amusing beats to a one-note character, as he also plays, kind of undercover. And as things start to unfold and revealing what happened to the real Argylle, he's still exciting to watch as his personality like shifts and jumps between his personas. The scenes involving Alfie the cat would be more adorable if the VFX wasn't so bad. It's kind of rough around the edges. I don't really understand why they use CGI at all in the first place, besides throwing the cat around. Aside from the great performances from Sam Rockwell and Bryce Dallas Howard, some of the other leads fell flat. I really wish we could have seen more of Sophia Boutella. She's absolutely amazing and kick-ass, and she was completely wasted. I mean, sorry, not kick-ass, Kingsman, but she was really wasted. I would have loved to see her in some fight sequences. Sam Rockwell absolutely steals the show. He's charming, charismatic, and badass. Him and Bryce are great together anytime they're on screen. They have really great chemistry. I've really, really loved Bryce as an innocent author. She's great. My only complaint is that she's not really believable in the action scenes. She moved kind of slow. You don't really see any bruising or blood. That's kind of on the stunt choreography. Although I did love some of the action sequences, I just didn't really know if she's believable for me. But the fight scenes were fantastic in typical eccentric Mara fashion, stunning visuals, outlandish fight scenes, incorporating dance choreography. There's a beautiful, colorful action sequences between lead Sam and Bryce. That was one of my favorite scenes, and it's an iconic, unique skate sequence by Bryce, which was fantastic. There's also a great fight scene, kind of bullet trainish, which blurs between like reality and her mind. Absolutely nothing like Colin Firth's amazing fight sequence from Kingsman, which was one of my favorite fight scenes of all time. I feel like the pacing was all over the place. There's some moments that felt prolonged, some scenes that were ridiculously long that could have been shorter. But overall, I had a great time with Argyle. I think it's just as fun, wild, and eccentric as you would expect. Great action, exciting fight sequences, and awesome dance choreography in typical Mara fashion. There's so many great twists and turns, exciting dance numbers, and overall really great performances. So what's funny is there's an actual Argyle book written by Ellie Conway, though it's not clear who they might be. And there's like a conspiracy theory that it's Taylor Swift, which is ridiculous and has absolutely nothing to do with the film or what you think about the film. But the filmmaker stated that the Kingsman franchise and the Argyle films, we may get a little bit of a tie-in crossover, which I'm super excited for. But overall, it's no Kingsman, no Kick-Ass, but it's still a great time. I highly recommend seeing it in theaters and go see it this Friday. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.